Right guys, welcome back to the workshop. So in this video I'm going to be taking a look at a few items that I purchased for the workshop. They're all budget items that I picked up from Lidl, which for those of you that don't know is a shop here in the UK. They basically sell anything from food, tools, camping gear, toys, clothes, all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to show you what I purchased and then I'll give you a closer look. So the first thing I bought was this right angled bit holder, complete with bits. This allows you to drive in screws or possibly drill in areas where you can't get a conventional drill in because the area is too small. So I've actually been looking at getting something like this for quite a while now. So that was $3.99. Next item was some self-centering drill bits, and these are handy for attaching hinges and things like that. I've also looked at purchasing a set of these. These were $3.99. So the next item I purchased was this Japanese pull saw. Now I know this isn't going to be the best quality saw there is, especially when you consider the price was only £8, but I haven't actually got one of these in the workshop, so I'm sure I will get some use out of it in the future. So the next item I purchased was another one of these drills. So this is the PBSA 12 volt D4 drill. Now, as I've already said, I'm not going to be doing a full review on this one. I will show you what the tool only comes with, as opposed to the full kit, which obviously has the batteries and charger with it. But if you haven't seen the review video I've done on this, I highly recommend going to check that out, because I use this drill all the time and absolutely love it for the money. So the good thing about this drill is the fact it's got a removable chuck. So if you're needing to drill pilot holes, countersink the holes and drive in screws, you can basically kill two tasks with the one drill. So you can put a drill in, drill your pilot hole, remove the chuck. It allows you, because of the design of the chuck, to actually keep the driver bit installed underneath the chuck. So when you've drilled your pilot hole, remove the chuck, your driver bit's already in the drill and you can just simply drive in the screw. So that is the feature that I actually find really useful, and you've obviously seen me use this in plenty of videos since I bought it, and I wouldn't go out and buy a second one if it weren't no good. The next tool I picked up was a multi-tool. Now again, this was only a tool only, so you didn't get any batteries or charger, but I've already got 2 chargers and about 4 batteries. So this on its own cost £19.99. So again, a bargain if you're in the lookout for a cheap budget multi-tool. Now this isn't a tool I use all the time, but when I've done flooring and things and I've had to undercut door frames and things, a tool like this is invaluable. So for 20 quid I thought I'd give it a go. So this is a PAM FW C3 12 volt multi-tool. Can be used for many applications, mainly for plunge cutting. Particularly useful when needing to undercut door casings when you're laying flooring, or for cutting drywall when you're putting in electrical back boxes, etc. It also comes with a sanding pad adapter, so it can be used as a detail sander as well for sanding difficult to reach areas. So in the box with this one, you get your instruction manual, your dust port and a clip which actually holds it in position. You do get a few accessories that come with it. So you've got your usual straight cut blades, like a scraper, grout removal tool. You also get the sanding pad, and you get some small sanding sheets. Right, so here's a quick close-up of the tool. Feels fairly light. Got metal head, and this is all just like the usual ABS plastic. Got on-off switch, so you just slide it for on, pull back for off. It is variable speed, so it goes from 6 down to 1. And then you've got the tool unlock lever, so toolless blade change, which I do like about these tools. So let's put a battery in and show you how loud it actually is. So we'll start it off on speed setting 1. So it would appear that even though it goes from 1 to 6, it actually goes up in half increments. So I'll just switch it on. So that's 1, 1.5, 2, 3. So to fit the dust port, you've got to do it before you attach any blades, and that basically just sits the other way like that. So it sits along the underside of the tool, and then you've got this little clip and the little grooves on the back end, and that basically just fits around. I'm going to try and do this with one hand. You've got to try and squeeze it together to, well, you can actually see that, but you get the idea. And then you just, until it clips into place, and that does actually hold that very secure. And then obviously you can put your bits on. So it takes the standard blades with the holes, and all you've got to do to actually insert the blade is lift up this locking lever, but to release the front for getting the blade in, you've got to flip the lever over, and then that actually allows you to, a little bit awkward with one hand, insert that underneath the tension ring, and basically you can have that at any angle you want, as long as you locate the pins in the holes. And once you've got it in position, you take the lever and just click it back down, and that is secure. And then obviously to release it, lift it up. Now it won't release if you just lift it, it's still tight. You've actually got to push it, and that will actually release it. So here's a true story for you. In the instructions, this is the blade change release lever, and it's actually marked on there, lock, and you've got like the down arrow, and then you've got unlock on the other side with the arrow in the opposite direction. So I lifts it up and I'm like, can't see anything happening at this end, and I'm trying to get the blade on. Eventually I release this ring that's on the front, put the blade underneath it, tightened it up. That's your tension ring. And then I'm kind of like pressing the lever, trying to get the blade out, nothing. I'm actually looking where it's supposed to press, and it's just not doing anything. And then after about 10 minutes, I realised that you don't just lift it up, you've actually got to flip it over. So if you do get one of these, don't do what I did. So for the purposes of the video, I've just fitted the straight cutter and I've got a battery on. I don't think this is fully charged, but I'm just going to try plunging into some 18mm plywood and see how it fares. Let's try. I think this 4 ampere battery is fully charged, so give that a go. Well, I'm determined, if nothing else. Gotta say, when I put that battery on it, the 4 ampere one, it flew through it a lot quicker. With the smaller batteries, I think these are, what are these? And these are 2 ampere batteries, something like that. It did take longer. So if you've got like the 4 ampere 12 volt batteries, it definitely works a lot better. But I will say one thing, it gets bloody hot. Tell you what I keep doing, because I'm holding it up here at the top of the handle, I keep knocking the battery out. So that's another thing to be careful of. Well, I made it through considerably quicker with the bigger 4 ampere battery on it, but it does get quite hot. Now, admittedly, I wouldn't normally use it for doing stuff like that. I would only really use this for like undercutting door frames and things, so that would be a lot easier than trying to cut through plywood. So a few points to note. When the batteries are low, the tools will tend to bog down and cut out. Now, although they will switch on again, it's normally a sign that the batteries are fairly dead. My drill does exactly the same thing. It kind of cut out when drilling or driving in screws, and although you can actually switch it back on again, it does normally mean charge the batteries up and it's as right as rain. Same thing was happening with this, with the 2 smaller batteries, but I knew neither of those were fully charged. As soon as I put the bigger 4 amp hour battery, you could feel the power difference, and it went through the 18mm ply a damn sight quicker with this than one of these. Now they might perform a little bit better if they're fully charged, but mine aren't charged, so I can't try that right now. So like most tools, the bigger the battery, the more powerful they're going to be. The other thing to note that I did a couple of times with this battery in, probably not a problem with the smaller batteries, because when you're holding it like this, you've got nothing to kind of pull on the battery, so you're not going to pull the battery out. Whereas with the bigger 4 amp hour battery, it obviously clips in and works exactly the same, but if you're holding it like this, it's very easy to kind of press the buttons on the side and accidentally dislodge the battery, which I did do a couple of times. Also, this isn't a tool that you'd want to use for any length of time, because there is quite a considerable amount of vibration through your hand, wrist, arm when you're actually using it. I mean, obviously the tighter you grip it, the more you feel it. So what do I think of it? Well, overall, for the price I paid, 20 quid, it's a bargain. It does what it's designed to do, and although I wouldn't normally use it to plunge cut big holes in 18mm ply, I'd probably drill a few holes and use a jigsaw, because it'd be a lot quicker and less stress on your arm, wrist and all that through the vibration. But it did get through the plywood, albeit it was a lot quicker with the 4 amp hour battery. But I mean, for 20 quid, if you're using it for cutting holes in drywall, for example, to fix socket back boxes or whatever, it's going to fly through that, and it'd do that with either the smaller batteries or the 4 amp hour batteries. So overall, for 20 quid, I think it's well worth the money. Right guys, well there you go. Quick look at the PAMFW C3 12V multi-tool from Parkside. Overall, for 20 quid, an absolute bargain. And if you're in the market for a cordless budget multi-tool, then look no further. And I am not sponsored by them or affiliated with them in any way, just to make that clear. So as always, thanks for watching. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then why not consider subscribing? It's free after all. So until the next video, stay safe, and you will see me in the next one, guys. Cheers for watching.